Welcome to Movies This Week, where we'll go through all the movie news, the box office, new trailers, and TV and movie reviews. So, let's do this.
Wrong video.
Let's do this. So, shock horror. Snow White has been a box office bomb, performing very poorly at the box office. It made just over $42 million in the US and close to $90 million globally. Now, normally those kind of figures wouldn't be so bad, but with an astronomical budget of $260 million, and that was for reshoots to create these monstrosities. Wow.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
That meant that the movie needed to double its budget to make a profit, and that honestly looks highly unlikely. Now, of course, Rachel Zegler has had many a hater.
It's amazing. It's the most thrilling feeling in the world.
Who wanted the movie to flop, and they've got their wish. But it would also seem like the best thing about the movie is actually Zegler herself, who has reaped in loads of praise for her singing and her performance. So it's kind of a loss and a win for Zegler, and a loss if you went out there to spend your money on this movie. But the box office numbers spark a bigger debate about Disney and their insistence on remaking their own classics. What started off as a good idea is having diminishing returns, with only The Lion King, Aladdin, and Beauty and the Beast yielding positive returns for them. Might it be time for the studio execs to think of some original ideas? Oh, don't worry, Seth. We're going to come back to you in a minute. Speaking of original ideas, the new Marvel Doomsday trailer dropped this week. But it wasn't a trailer. It was just cheers. And also, it's a trailer for cheers. The cheers that will be used on set as they've just gone into production on the latest Marvel movie. So it's not even a trailer for the movie itself. Now, I have to be honest here, I don't really get it. It makes little sense to use cheers in your trailer, especially as all these actors won't even use those cheers on set, because they're going to have actual big F-off trailers. And I'm not talking about movie trailers, I'm talking about trailers. But nonetheless, it was good to see the huge cast list they have listed. We'll get some more Loki, we'll get some returning Magneto and Professor X and Cyclops, which is always good. But someone who won't be returning is Ben Affleck. He hates superhero movies and he hates movies. Okay, I'm being a little bit dramatic. He doesn't hate movies. In what was a really open interview, he stated that playing superheroes is behind him. He's been there and he's done that. And it would appear he's speaking on behalf of a lot of people. Because the last superhero movie that made any real money at the box office was Spider-Man No Way Home. That was pretty much 4 years ago. And since then, it's been failure after failure after failure for both DC and Marvel. Now, the Marvel's The Thunderbolts is out in 4 weeks, and it's a very important movie for them because if that flops, it's going to look pretty bleak for the Fantastic Four. However, Doomsday will make a bucket load of cash. There is no doubt about that.
It was the best.
Now, this part of the show is called 1 Minute Reviews, where I shall review 2 or more things in just a minute. Starting now. Daredevil Born Again. This show is increasingly testing the patience. Loads of marriage counseling meetings, no action, no progression of story. When it's good, it's typically good because the central actors are powerhouses. But the story and the incessant little weird vox pops that appear throughout the episodes are becoming jarring. Next up is Adolescence, the Netflix show that everyone is talking about. Each episode is shot in just one take. Very gimmicky and very flashy. But is it actually any good? Well, yes, on a technical level, very good. The flashy one takes are fun and the acting is brilliant, but the dialogue is sometimes a bit on the nose and the logic is occasionally just a little bit off. However, its biggest strength is also its biggest weakness. The one takes, while fun, do make me think that these same moments could be better done with cuts. The reason why cinema is that it's montage. Montage means cuts, which means editing. Whilst more and more and more film and TV becomes more flashy with one takes, there is also a debate to be had as to whether it's actually cinema anymore, or is it something else? And here you go, Seth. I told you I'd bring you back in. My top recommendation for this week is Seth Rogen's new show, The Studio. It's hilarious, fun, shot beautifully. Episode 1 starring Martin Scorsese, Bryan Cranston, Paul Dano, and Charlize Theron was a real treat. Watch it on Apple TV. It's great.
That was nowhere near a minute long. I'll improve, I promise.
In other news, the trailer for the new Alien Earth was released this week. And man, oh man, they need to hang up this franchise by its bootstraps. Is that the expression?
No.
It's so tired. The same sandbox every single time. A ship, a brunette with short hair, because Sigourney Weaver had short hair in the original film, so they think they should do that in all the films now. It's really dumb if you think about it. An android who has bad intentions. Same story every single film. And this series promises nothing new. The two things it has going for it is that Noah Hawley is the creator of the Fargo series, which is very good. But he also did create Legion, which I found underwhelming. Another Marvel side project which seemed to have zero continuity with the MCU. And it also stars Timothy Olyphant, who is always great. If you've not seen Justified, watch Justified.
Now that's film and television.
Okay.
Now pan out.
Yeah, and now we're gonna see theater.
That's theater.
So maybe this Alien spin-off series will be the best thing since The Wire. My guess is nope. But who knows? Now maybe you're watching this and you only really like modern day movies. So that means you won't know where to start when it comes to classic quality films. So every week I'm going to recommend a classic film. And this week's recommendation is A Face in the Crowd. This 1957 classic is a film ahead of its time. It's about social media without being about social media. As one man's instant fame sees him become an egomaniac, which has dire consequences for all around it. It's a sublime film by Elia Kazan. He also directed On the Waterfront and A Streetcar Named Desire. Whilst our leading character is a loud and brash protagonist, the film remains subtle in its approach, choosing how and when to make its points clear. Unlike the latest Russo brothers movie, The Electric State, starring Chris Pratt and this lady. Man, what has happened to the Russo brothers? They have hit such a rough patch since Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame. Some of the crap they're making makes me slightly worried for this new Doomsday movie. They are in a big old rut. From hitting a home run and saying they're done with Marvel, to making whatever this crap was, and then begging Kevin Feige, please bring us back, we'll be ever so good, we promise. Listen, I'm concerned. Should I be though? What do you guys think though? Should we be concerned for this Doomsday movie? It's looking pretty bleak, but I think they might pull it out the bag. And before I go, what about this Batgirl footage, eh? Do you think it's any good? Because honestly speaking, I'm pretty glad they canned this crap. It looks really bad. Now, some people online have been saying it looks good, and that's completely fine. Everyone's got their own opinion. I think this looks like terrible filmmaking. Although the directors aren't so bad, they're pretty good. The last Bad Boy movies wasn't too bad, and the one before that, they directed that. But this looks like trash. Hot trash. So, in a way, they canned it, it's gone, and hopefully they don't bring it out, but, you know, who cares if they do? I'm not going to watch it anyway. Listen, that's enough for 1 week. Please, if you're not subscribed yet, do hit the subscribe button.
And while you're at it, why don't you hit the like button? You know, it kind of helps the channel.
And you may as well join my Patreon as well. All these people on screen have done so. Thank you so much to those guys. Thank you so much to the YouTube members as well. You can also
Become a member. It's very easy. Just click at the bottom of this video.
Until the next one, guys, big love.